Dear faculty and staff, families, host families and friends, and most importantly, my dear class of 2014. Today, we are standing at the edge of a great adventure, with all the ups and downs that its definition entails. Every single one of us has a unique story to tell on how it began. Let me tell you about mine. Almost 4 years ago, I went to a college fair with my dad. This is where I heard of Jacobs for the first time. I approached the booth and met Peter from the admissions office. Enthusiastically, he tried to convince us of this university of the 21st century, where people from all over the world live and study together, the excellent academic programs and lab facilities, the incredible professor-student ratio. Of course I was hooked. Next to him was an undergraduate student. I asked her what it is like to study at Jacobs. She answered, "It's tough, period." That made me curious. Wasn't she supposed to tell me that this is the most awesome place on earth? So I asked again, in what way? Well, the programs are very hard. The workload is enormous. You'll have to spend a few all-nighters to get a decent grade on your homeworks. And during your first year, you'll probably either have a nervous breakdown or get into a stage of deep depression. I was shocked. On the side, I heard Peter explaining my dad about how Jakob students will be the leaders of tomorrow. I asked myself, what is this place? I gave it one last shot and asked her, but was it worth it? She hesitated a brief moment, smiled, and said yes. And now here I stand, 4 years later, and know exactly how that girl felt. I guess we all do, right? Class of 2014, I'd like to ask you, all these all-nighters, 7 finals in 5 days, and senseless memorizing of complicated words, were they worth it for chilling on campus green with the most amazing people on one of those rare sunny days? Yes. We were the class experiencing 3 different presidents, several cuts in the meal plan, and had to fear for the future existence of this university. But looking back at the chances we had in experiencing the Olympics and Arts Olympics, Dance Stoned and Spotlight, acoustic nights and cheer-ups, Deepawali, Eid, Chinese New Year, and African heritage, I'm asking you, was it worth it? In a few years, when all of this is history, I won't think about the all-nighters or budget cuts. No, the stories that will stay with me are the ones I did not come here for, like watching funny cat videos on YouTube with my roommates. Another special moment that I will remember forever happened when I met one of my professors on my way from the IRC to Krupp. We started talking about the midterm I had recently written in his class, and then he told me something along the following lines. I know it can be quite tough sometimes. Every day we are teaching you complicated methods and concepts. We are asking you to memorize hundreds of pages for an exam, and I know that you will forget them right afterwards. I was astonished. This is not how a professor should think about the stuff he teaches us in class. He looked at my confused face and said, my goal here is simply to teach you what to Google. Later, when you're employed in an excellent research institution or industrial company, it won't help you much when you know how to draw the structures of all amino acids. You will be the most successful when you know exactly what to Google for. I'll leave it at that and let each of you decide on his or her own what he meant with that. But when you go out there after the ceremony and say goodbye to the professors who supported, inspired, and maybe sometimes made you cry over the past 3 years, give them a big thank you. They were only trying to give you the best shot at life outside the bubble. And remember that we did not give them an easy life either. I would like to seize this opportunity to thank you, dear faculty, for enduring our never-ending requests about internship advice, reference letters, and the question whether the slides are going to be uploaded on CampusNet. Without you, we wouldn't be looking at such a bright future today. Dear staff, we also owe a big thank you to you. You are the ones we could turn to with crazy ideas that made our extracurricular life so exciting. You are the ones who listened when we needed it the most. And you are the ones preparing us for that important grad school interview. Thank you for making us feel welcome and important. Dear families, host families, and friends, you are our greatest heroes. Although you might have never seen this campus and seem to never be in the focus of attention, for most of us, you always were the strong shoulder, the inspiring mind, and the reason to keep going. I know that without the loving support of my parents, I wouldn't be wearing this silly hat today. And last, but definitely not least, thank you, class of 2014. Thank you for teaching me your cultural customs and making me experience festivals I have never ever heard the name of before. Thank you for letting me surprise you at birthdays and lip sync performances. And thank you so much for forgiving me that I always called you by nicknames, as not even in 3 years I could learn how to pronounce your name properly. Thank you, class of 2014. You are the ones who made this place my home. Thank you.